Hey guys, it's Zach from the Con channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get the PRAXIC Blade, which is pretty much the lightsaber in Destiny 2. Now, in order to unlock the lightsaber, you'll need to progress through the main campaign of the expansion, which will be step 33. Once you're at that step, you'll then need to take on a quest where you'll now need to get your lightsaber. Now, this quest can be confusing based on the difficulty that you are playing. Now, if you're playing on Legendary, it doesn't actually tell you that much on what to actually do. So this video is just to help you out if you do get stuck. But you can then go ahead and launch the mission. Once you start the mission, it's actually going to be called the Fire and Ice mission. So this is pretty much going to be a guide on what to do. Once you land on the planet, there will be a few enemies you'll need to take out. You're then going to make your way up. You'll see that there's just paths following ahead, and it's pretty much just going to lead you to the top of the area. We'll get to this point where you'll see the sentry turret that's on the little platform, and inside you'll be able to actually go ahead and infiltrate the Imperium facility. Now, there are going to be a lot of very strong enemies, so just be careful when attempting this. Once you're in the facility, you'll then need to defeat the boss, and it's going to give you the Imperium door codes, which we'll use on this machine right over here. So then going to open the doors ahead, and then you can just follow along through. And then you're going to enter into this courtyard where you'll need to go through the teleporter. Now it's going to be right over here, and here is where the teleporter will pretty much be. You're then going to have to take out a few Taken. Once you've defeated the enemies, the teleporter will open and you can hop on inside, and you'll need to take the imbalanced Octant. Now, once you're in this room, you might be wondering where to go next. What you'll need to do is come to this little spire in the middle here, and you'll see that on the other side there's going to be these rocks. Now you'll actually need to use these rocks to get up into it, and you're actually just going to fall through the middle of it. Once you reach the bottom, you can then just progress forward. You'll see that there's going to be this path you can follow. Now, just be careful, this part can be tricky as it is quite dark, but there's going to be a ledge you can jump on over here, and then you're going to jump to the side right here, and then you'll see that ahead the lighting will kind of lead your way. Now, once you've jumped down in here, you're going to see this place. Now, you're actually needing to climb up to the top. Now, there is a shorter way to get here. You can jump up from the beginning, but I just happen to jump down here, and then you're going to climb over here. Now, once you get to this point, you'll need to crouch and progress through the walls without getting pushed off. And you'll see that there's going to be these walls shooting out, as well as the Taken field just shooting itself. So once you get around the corner over here, what you'll need to do is again just crouch all the way till you get to the end. Now what you'll need to do once you get to the end is you're going to actually just jump around the corner and make your way onto this ledge over here. And then you'll need to jump onto this little rock face. And then you're going to climb to the top of it. And then you're going to make your way backwards, back from essentially where you came. And just before you reach the end, you're actually going to go through this gap where that platform shot out, and this is where you're actually going to get to the next section. Now you'll see that once you come up the stairs, there's going to be this new mechanic introduced to you, which has this symbol, and once you touch it, it is then going to disappear. Now, instead of going down, you're actually going to come back, and to the right is going to be this room with the blocks. Now, if the blocks haven't spawned in yet, just wait and they'll pop up from the walls. But essentially, you'll need to make your way up the blocks, and then you're pretty much just going to go in the other direction. So as you can see, we had to jump there to actually activate the platform because it just wasn't activating by itself, but we managed to make our way up. So once we get up, we're just going to then follow through like normal, and then we're going to fall down into this section. And now we're going to enter into a room that is pretty much filled with these symbols with the disappearing floors. So you'll actually need to be very quick here, as in this room, there's going to be these gates that appear in front of you, and they're pretty much blocking your path from going forward. So you kind of need to be quick and find your way through without obviously falling through the ground. Now, if you just follow my path, you should be able to make it through. And once you're through, you'll be on to the next section. Now, once you get to this next section by the big door, what you'll need to do is, if you notice there's going to be these broken columns, you'll actually need to make your way back up onto the ceiling, essentially. So you can just follow me. So once you've made your way up from that platform, what you're going to do is come over to the side here. And if you look at the top, there's actually a section you can jump onto. Now we're going to have to traverse across the beams here. And we're pretty much just going to make our way to the end. And you'll see that once we jump up here, the gap to go into is actually going to be right over here. Now we're going to be in another area with the disappearing blocks. So we'll need to move quickly, and there'll also be this block ahead that we'll need to shoot on our way forward. Now, once you get to this point, you'll see that at the bottom is actually where you need to go. So you're going to make your jump. So once you get into the tower, you'll notice that you'll actually be able to get up to the top. Now, obviously, keep in mind, there's going to be these taken little walls that are going to try and shoot you off. So just keep that in mind. Now, just before you get all the way to the top, pretty much the third platform from the top, you're going to come to this one. And you'll see that there's actually going to be an opening with these platforms you can jump to. So you're going to make your way across these platforms, and you're essentially going to make your way down over there. So once you get to this next section, you'll need to then pick up the imbalanced Octant again, and then you're going to make your way up these stairs, and you're going to teleport to the next area. Now you are going to get a rally banner in order to refill your ammo and stuff, but this is going to be one of the next encounters you'll have to do. Now, the easiest way to explain how this encounter works is that you're going to get these two enemy types, the cleaved Imperial Centurion and then the cleaved Taken Centurion. Now, if you kill the normal Centurion, you'll get the Baron buff. Now, if you kill a normal Centurion with the Baron buff, they will give you light moats. And if you kill the Taken Centurion with the Baron buff, you'll get dark moats. Then, if you kill the Taken Centurion first, you'll get the Taken buff, and if you kill a Taken Centurion with that buff, you'll get light moats, and if you defeat the normal Centurion with that Taken buff, you'll get dark moats. So just keep that in mind when doing this objective. Now, the order in which you do this, it doesn't matter. Obviously, if you die, you'll then lose the buff, and if you kill a Centurion, you'll also lose the buff, and you have to get it again. Now, you'll see that there's going to be the 4 orbs at the top of the map. You'll need to throw each of these orbs into their respective colored blights. And what you essentially need to do is fill them up one by one. So you don't want to throw all 4 into one blight. You want to throw, for example, you want to throw one dark moat into one dark blight, and then another dark moat into another. And you do that over time, slowly but surely. Because if you imbalance the blights, you might have to reset and do it from the start all over again. You'll see once you've done it correctly, you can come over to the middle here and you can calibrate the Octant to balance. You can then take the balance Octant, and now you'll need to make your way back to the portal. You can then use the balance Octant, and what this is going to do is essentially flip the world upside down now. Once you've done that, you can enter back through the portal, and now you'll need to make your way to the end. Once you make it into this final room, you'll then verse a boss called the Disciple of Harrow. Now, his first bar is going to be pretty easy to take out. All you need to do is just deal normal damage to him. Once you get his first bar of HP down, you'll see he's going to activate his Cabal shield. Now you'll need to enter it and then destroy the shield generator in the middle. Once you destroy it, you can then deal more damage to him. Now, for his final bar of HP, it's going to be a little bit different than the other times. What you'll need to do is kill these Cleaver Imperium Centurions again. And then what you'll need to do is get the moats by defeating the Imperiums. So you'll see that there's only the dark circles we can kind of go for. So what we'll need to do is, you'll see that there's this platform in the middle. We'll actually need to use the balance Octant. And what this is going to do, it's going to make the opposite enemy spawn in so we can get those dark moats. Obviously, if you have the taken energy cleaved, you'll then need to spawn in the normal Centurions and then that will obviously get you your dark moats. Now this is a little bit of a tedious process because obviously you need to keep switching between the different octants in order for the right enemies to spawn in and obviously to get that buff. You'll see that once you've aligned both of the dark blights, you can now start dealing damage to the boss. And once you've done that, you'll then be teleported to a room where you now can collect your PRAXIC blade, which is your now lightsaber. And it is random which color you get. You can either get between blue or green, and I happen to get green. But after that, the mission is not fully over yet. You'll be supplied with as much special ammo as you'd like, and now you get to go out and fight and defeat enemies. It's then going to pretty much give you a little tutorial on how to use the weapon, which is pretty cool. It's been Zach from the Con channel. I hope this video helps out, and thanks for watching.